Good morning. It's good to be back at Unity of South Sound again. I thought I'd choose a song that encompasses us coming together as one. This is a very familiar tune to most of you, I'm sure. There we go. Different version of it, though.
Let's get together now. We can feel alright. What in the Let's get together now. We can feel alright. Let them all pass their dirty words. There is one question I'd really like to ask. Is every place full of hopeless sickness? Has heard all mankind just to save his own belief, singing, what in the let's get together now, we can feel alright. What in the let's get together now, we can feel alright. Let's get together to fight this holy Armageddon. So when the man comes, there will be no doom. Those whose chances will get no hiding place for the King of creation, singing, what in the let's get together now, we feel alright. What in let's get together now, we feel alright. Let's get together now, we can feel alright.
Thank you, Dave Hannon. I asked Dave what's new, and he shared some things he's celebrating this month. His daughter Liddy is 3 this month. And not only that, but Dave shares a birthday month with her. His birthday is tomorrow. Happy birthday, Dave. And if you were here last week, Dave's beautiful wife, Nicola, was here singing, and they both continue to sing all around the South Sound area, and you can find more information about that at davehannonmusic.com. Welcome to the light and love that is Unity of South Sound. My name is Anita Landry, and it's my joy to welcome you here to our Sunday morning celebration service. We hold that you are not here by accident today, but by divine appointment. Unity provides a positive path for spiritual living. We teach inspiring, practical spirituality, something you will experience each Sunday lesson to enhance your personal journey of spiritual unfoldment. If you have any questions, concerns, or joys to share, please contact our office or visit our website at unityofsouthsound.org. At this time, we invite you to make sure that your cell phones are in airplane mode. Now we invite you to relax, reconnect, and center in the truth of who we are. Will you please join me in saying our opening affirmation? There is only one presence and one power active in my life and in the universe, God, goodness, omnipotence. Our mission statement, inspired by the divine, as an inclusive spiritual community, we explore and express our highest potential. Our vision statement, present and centered in divine love, we co-create a peaceful and awakened world. Our core values, we are love, joy, abundance, spirit-guided. And now Reverend Megan will lead us in an opening prayer.
Thank you, Anita. Well, good morning, everyone. I'm just going to put a little light on it here. Okay. I just heard today we have a number of loved ones in our community that are working towards their health and wholeness and on antibiotics. And so we just want to hold everyone that's in our heart that we love that may be going through a difficult time as we open our service today and remind ourselves that we are divine by nature. And every breath I take is active in and through and as me, allowing me to express the core, authentic divinity that I am. And so as we take that into prayer, I light the prayer candle to also remind us of the light that we are. And again, we breathe in and we let it go. And we stand firm in knowing that with everything I think, say, and do, I am allowing the expression of God to be active in and through and as me. And so what does that look like for each of us? Let us hold that as our intention as we move through the service to be inspired and uplifted and encouraged to practice knowing that God is, I am, and I am divine. And so it is. Amen.
We want to take a moment to thank all of you who may be joining us for your first time here in person or online. Thank you for sharing your consciousness and your love with us. If you're here in person, we invite you to pick up a welcome packet from one of our information tables, which contains helpful information about our ministry. And we encourage you to sign our guest book so that we know who you are. We affirm and trust that people who come to Unity will feel at home. As we engage in getting to know each other, we will see you here again. Wherever you are on your journey of faith, you are welcome here. For we honor and respect the choices your soul makes on its spiritual journey. Now, to all our newcomers, our live streamers, and our friends joining us this morning, we want to share our Unity blessing. We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the divinity you are. Now I invite you, if you're able, to stand and join with our song leaders. We have Joey Sandalhill, Reverend Megan, and we'll sing some congregational songs.
Of the divine, I am an instrument of the divine, I am an instrument of the divine. I want to play in the symphony of sacred love. I am an instrument of the divine, I am an instrument of the divine, I am an instrument of the divine. I want to play in the symphony of sacred love. Never again will I wander, never again will I doubt. Suddenly I can see clearly, love is what this life is about. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I am an instrument of the divine, I am an instrument of the divine, I am an instrument of the divine. I want to play in the symphony of sacred love. Never again will I Suddenly I can see clearly. Love is what this life is about. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I am an instrument of the divine. I am an instrument of the divine. I am an instrument of the divine. I want to play in the symphony of sacred love. I want to play in the symphony of sacred love. I want to play in the symphony of sacred love.
Give yourselves a hand.
Now is the moment when we have a brief time to get to know each other with a Namaste community greeting. We encourage you to reach out to someone you haven't met before, and if you're not a hugger, stick your hand out and say Namaste. I behold the divinity you are. Namaste.
As you come back to your seats, we begin to sing our next song, I'm Choosing Heaven Today.
I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing love today. I'm choosing love today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing love today. I'm choosing peace today. I'm choosing peace today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing peace today. I'm choosing joy today. I'm choosing joy today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing joy today. I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing heaven today.
Yes, we are.
The inspirational reading today is from Magnolia Journal from fall of 2021, and it's all about autumn. Autumn begins. Year after year, autumn returns to the world in her own good time. She can sneak up subtly or arrive all of a sudden. Either way, she rides on wild winds under a harvest moon the color of honey. She comes to dim the daylight and stretch out the night. She colors the trees and urges the songbirds southward. She has returned to set the natural world afire, to bring the sun low, to usher in the fall of the year, a time so very familiar to us and yet always new. Wherever she goes, autumn lights up the senses and stirs up memories. She wields the power to enchant us all, in fact, to transport us back in time, back to ourselves. One way or another, the amber magic seeps into each and every one of us. And while the natural world softly fades into winter, autumn is busy changing us from within. She whispers gently, speaking silent incantations to both body and soul, reminders of just how far we have come and how far we still have to go. Autumn reminds us to harvest the best from another year of life lived. Reminds us to savor the moments of transformation. Reminds us that all things must pass from gold to gray before they can come to life again. Reminds us that there is no going back. Change is the only way forward, the only way onward. Don't be afraid. You have been here before. You will come here again. Come, she says, let's go together, ever onward, hand in hand. And now Reverend Megan will lead us in a time of meditation.
Thank you for the lovely reminder. We are in the midst of a transition. You may be feeling it in your body. We had a lot of events this week. The full moon, the harvest moon, the lunar moon, the lunar eclipse, and so we want to bring all of that into our experience of prayer and meditation. So let us begin with a song that reminds us, I will be. Here I am, a vessel to be used. Whatever Spirit needs of me, I will be, I will be, I will be. Here I stand, my heart is here to serve. Whatever love is leading me, I will go, I will go, I will go. Here I am, a vessel to be used. Whatever Spirit needs of me, I will be, I will be, I will be. Whatever Spirit needs of me, I will be, I will be, I will be. And so we just breathe in to that peaceful place that we have just created and allow ourselves to be present to what it is to be one with the divinity that we are. So let the vibration of our singing bowl take you a little deeper. So as you're feeling the vibration, just gently closing your eyes, breathe from your head down into your heart. Just feel that shift as you open your heart space. breathe it in fully. Feel the vibration resonating within every cell of your being. Allow it to open you up in an even more revealing way. Focusing gently on your breath. Just follow your breath as you breathe in and feel it touching every little cell of your body, waking it up, reminding it of its divine nature, and how every little cell then connects into the oneness and the beauty that you are. And as you exhale, follow your breath out, consciously knowing you're releasing anything and everything that is not one with your divine self, all the energy that you have used for greater good that is now no longer needed. You breathe it out into the universe so that it might be gently transformed. For that's what everything does as it needs to let go and renew itself. So breathing in a little deeper, allow yourself to go into your heart space, into that powerful organ that has the intellect of the universe, where you can feel safe and secure, peaceful, and where everything serves us for transformation. So breathing into your heart space as we go into the silence, surrender to I am here, a vessel to be used, and whatever spirit needs of me, I will be. What will that be for you? Just listen. And to go wherever I am meant to be, to make a difference. And as I open my eyes, I'm awakened to the light and the love that I am, that we are. And we reconnect with this physical reality, remembering that we are here to express Godness. And when we do, we are all blessed, and so it is. Amen.
So I'm switching up songs. This started off as a love tune, turned into a rumination on relationships in general. This one's called Unpredictable, and I'd like to think that this has further extension to just how unpredictable life can be. I know that I'm living it. Sounds like our community is living it here at Unity of South Sound. Lots of change. So this one goes out to the unpredictability of life and embracing it. Unpredictable, you were so unpredictable. Never could have guessed, never could have known, standing at my door. unpredictable. Meeting you is unpredictable. Never had to see, never had known such beauty just to look. Oh, you helped give me the words I couldn't find. Yeah, you took those words and gave them their flight. You held the mirror to my heart so I could see all the good things in me. After all, unpredictable. You are so unpredictable. And letting me go so that I could learn to fly on these own two wings of mine. Yeah, you loved me enough to let me go so that I could learn to fly on these own two wings of mine.
Thank you, Dave. It's always great to have you with us. Today is fall, and I'm really feeling the shift in my body, my mind. I'm noticing some resistance as I cling to warm days and barefoot. Maybe some of you are there too, so it's just time to notice that we're going through this change, and that we notice that nature just gradually goes along with it without a fight, that allows what's to be, and it's a rich time for the harvest. And so we just take all of that in, and this week I had a great opportunity to gather with ministers and colleagues at the Northwest Regional Ministers Retreat in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, which is a very lovely place to be. And we met at the Spiritual Center there and had a lot of really rich networking and collaborating and sharing of ideas, but also time to just be in a beautiful place and going out on the Lake Coeur d'Alene. But we had this really powerful workshop that was offered by Dr. Tracy Brown. She's the author of the book called Stained Glass Spirit, which is sort of like that we are all these different colors of beautiful glass in the network of oneness, and that when we come together, she teaches this practice of shifting diversity and inclusion so that we can begin to understand that we all speak a different language, and yet there's this oneness that sometimes we're challenged to recognize. And she offered them powerful material and useful considerations in shifting our community's consciousness and relationships into deeper awareness of the value of diversity and our divine oneness. So I'll be sprinkling things in as it seems to fit. But one thing that really kind of came to mind is to give ourselves permission. I love this term that she said, is that I have a learner's permit in inclusivity. You know, we're all learning that, to connect with our own language. And so in that, I am open then to knowing more about you, the circumstances at hand. I will be curious, but also be authentic, and to be compassionate in our willingness to learn and grow in the midst of our beautiful tapestry of diversity. And it's a challenge. And so as we can maybe learn some new words that support us, and what I found is that all of those things really support the basis of the lesson I plan to teach you today or talk about. And that's about grounding ourselves to transform our culture into more intentionally inclusive and welcoming and diverse community as we evolve is by practicing the 5 principles that are the core teachings that we in New Thought and Unity come from as we look at the beauty of spirituality. But there's some grounding principles that support us, and that everything that we think, say, and do comes from any one of those things. So today we're going to be looking at the 3rd, 4th, and 5th principles of Unity's foundational truth teachings as part 2 from last week, where I talked about the answers to these questions. What is the greater presence that we should sense around us? And that is answered by the first principle: God is absolute good, everywhere present. Simply put, God is. We can just know that. God is in everything. And the second question, who and what are we? We explore the second principle. Human beings have a spark of divinity within them. Our essence is of God, and therefore we are all inherently good. In short, I am. God is, I am. Can we remember that? Because God is, I am in expression. So these 2 foundational principles provide the framework for our existence. Today we delve into the remaining 3 principles which guide us in expressing our divinity in daily life. And they can be summed up like this: I think it, I pray it, I live it. You see how it works? God is, I am, I think it, I pray it, I hold it in mind, and then I live it. So we're going to talk about what that means today. Starting with the 3rd principle, it answers this question: why do things happen the way they do in our lives? Do we have the power to control our life experience? You may have asked yourself those questions at times. Co-founder Charles Fillmore of the Unity Movement taught that reality begins with our ideas, and emphasized that when he wrote, the starting point of every form in the universe is an idea. Think about that. By recognizing our ideas as the starting point, we have planted them in the fertile soil of our minds. That's pretty amazing. And this is the essence then of our 3rd principle. We are co-creators with God, creating reality through thoughts held in mind. Simply put, I think it. I think it. And every experience we create begins with a thought. Everything has begun with a thought. Thoughts are incredibly powerful. They are the seeds that we plant in the fertile soil of our minds. So it's essential to nurture these thoughts carefully because, as Fillmore said, with every thought there is a radiation of energy. You're putting out energy with every thought. A little bit scary. So we want to be intentional, right? So if we let our minds run wild without discipline, we waste the creative energy meant to manifest our dreams and our highest good. So this is one of the most important teachings in New Thought spirituality, also known as the law of mind action. You may have heard of that, which states thoughts held in mind produce after their kind, right? So we are putting to motion with the energy from our thoughts what it is that we want to experience in our life. This means we shape our experiences and the world around us through our mental process, which includes our thoughts, our feelings, desires, imagination, and even our senses. All those things collectively get triggered together when we begin with a thought and we pay attention to it. So Reverend Ellen Davenport, author of the 5 Principles book that I've been using as my basis for resources for this lesson, points out that we are constantly shaping our reality, whether we're aware of it or not. She says, we can use our mental processes to shape and to form our ideas into creative expression. Our physical reality then, we see it as a demonstration. We can also use these processes in ways that keep us stuck in patterns that do not serve our highest good. So the law of mind action is at work all the time, regardless of the kinds of thoughts we hold. Something to think about, right? We are really talking about consciousness. That is what life is. Conscious awareness is what makes us extraordinarily powerful beings. And we need to do that with a conscious awareness of an intentional practice so that we notice what it is that we are creating and not doing it randomly or unintentionally destructively. So the first step to consciously creating is training our thinking. That's what the practice is. We have to train our thinking to focus on what is it I want to experience, to create. Not to dwell on the things we don't want, because that's putting the same power into it. So we must take responsibility for our thoughts because they shape our reality. Just like Mike Dooley famously said, you may have heard this, thoughts become things. Choose the good ones. The ones that support your goal, your vision, yourself, your dreams. And that goes for the ones that support this ministry as well. What are we holding in mind that manifests our reality? So, what can enhance the power of our thoughts and dreams? That's where the fourth principle comes in. I pray it. This principle answers the question, how do we communicate with the presence that we call God? Prayer is creative thinking that connects us with God and brings wisdom, healing, and prosperity into our experience. So we simply say, I pray it. I think it, and then I pray it. I take it into a deeper place. So it's important to understand that prayer is not talking about asking God to take sides in personal desires, whether it's winning a game, an election, or the lottery, or asking God to fix something we feel helpless to change. That's not what prayer is. It's about aligning ourselves with divine mind, God's ceaseless creative energy. And through prayer, then, we affirm that all we need already exists in divine substance, just waiting for us to call it forth. So we intensify that, what we hold in mind, in prayer and going into meditation where we're contemplating and we're listening and we're not talking anymore. Unity teaches affirmative prayer. That's what that is. Focusing on aligning ourselves with the vibration of life and divine wisdom. Prayer shifts our focus, strengthens our intentions, and opens the door to the guidance that we need to manifest our highest good, the things that serve us in the flow of creative expression. Just as Jesus taught, your Father, which means God-mind, remember it's not a being outside of us, it's the energy within us, knows what you need before you ask. Whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it and it will be yours. So then, does prayer actually affect us? Can it really change us? Science backs up that as a possibility. Studies show that when we enter prayer or meditation, our extended time of listening, there is a physiological change in the brain. Areas linked to concentration, to focus, to letting go of attachment of physical reality become more active or they quiet down. So this altered state of consciousness allows us then to access that deeper wisdom and intuition, all positive things. So prayer is more than words. It's every thought and every feeling that we hold. So I ask you today then, what are your prayers? Are you creating or removing something from your life? Because remember, the universe always says yes to whatever we focus on. And doesn't call it good or bad. It just says, yes, that's what you want. That's what I will add to. So as we practice this principle of communion with God, our I pray it practice, we grow in the understanding of who we are, and we begin to understand the greater level of universal principle in our lives. And so finally we come to our fifth principle then. Knowing and understanding spiritual truth is not enough, we must live it. This is where we move from I think it and I pray it to I live it. It answers the question, what are we here to do? You get to decide that. This principle calls us to put action or feet to our prayers. As Will Rogers said, even if you're on the right track, you'll get run over if you just sit there. We're meant to be in action, to be expressing, to be creating. The fifth principle is about embodying divine truth in our daily lives, not just holding it in our minds. It doesn't serve you any good if you just sit there and think about it. So it's about showing up alignment with our highest self, regardless of what we do, whether we're executives or parents or healers or teachers or laborers or wanderers. It doesn't matter what we actually end up doing. So there is a powerful story about the great violinist Paganini that demonstrates the importance of this principle, and I think it's a worthy story to listen to. It is said that when Paganini performed, there were two stars upon the concert stage: the great virtuoso himself and his violin, a beautiful Stradivarius. With this remarkable instrument, Paganini could move his audience to smiles as well as to tears. The violin was his most treasured possession, and so it is not surprising that Paganini made special provisions for it in his will. He bequeathed his Stradivarius to the city of Genoa in Italy with the expressed order that it should never be played again. Niccolo Paganini died in 1840. And as he desired, the violin was placed in public display in his exquisite diamond-studded case. And true to his wishes, it remained silent through the years. Today, all that remains of that sublime instrument, so lovingly crafted by Antonio Stradivarius in the 17th century, is its case. While other Strads are still superb after being played for centuries, Paganini's violin is now nothing more than a pile of dust. You see, wood, if used even the slightest bit, remains strong, but if it's neglected, it disintegrates. So a violin must be played if it's to remain a violin. How much more sublime or remarkable are we than a Stradivarius? But if we don't use our gifts, if we don't play our music, our instrument, intentionally living our gifts, we crumble, and our existence becomes meaningless, like Paganini's violin. We must express ourselves in life. And so living from truth doesn't always mean charging out to change the world without thought or direction. Often it's about how we show up in our daily lives, about being more than doing. It's about living with awareness and integrity, bringing our divine self into every action that we take. It's keeping us tuned into expressing our spiritual nature in everything we think, say, and do. So the fifth principle of truth that forms the foundational basis of our New Thought teaching provides steps to lead us from ego to soul. Ego meaning our attachment to our human persona, and soul meaning the expression of our divinity. So it's about living from unconsciously to living in awareness of truth. Truth is spiritual law. It is creation at our service. You are creation. You co-create the experience of the world that we live in. And our work then is to learn how to yield our spiritual tools in our human experience. So the first four principles constitute a handy checklist that you might use as before you take into action. So this is how we get intentional about it. We don't just rush out. So check in with these powerful series of questions to consider for clarity and guidance on what you would do when faced with a decision, or in how we choose to express our divinity in the world. The first one is, do I affirm spiritual or divine intelligence and love in this situation? That's about knowing there is one presence and one power in my life and in all experiences. Do I know that? 2, do I recognize my own divinity and the divinity of others in the situation? Know the Christ consciousness of my being and in all humanity. Do I really embrace it? 3, am I taking responsibility for how my thoughts and feelings shape my experience? It's about being clear with the power that my thoughts and emotions create my reality. And 4, have I aligned myself with God, universal energy, our good, in prayer before I take action? Have I taken it into my heart and listened? To be clear with the power that my thoughts and emotions can create. To take my desire and my concern or challenge into prayer, to connect with that power of my source within, and then allow it to guide me and to direct my thoughts into into the clarity that I need, and to affirm what it is that I want to express before I take action. And it's important to note that any action that feels forced, impulsive, or emotional is likely not to be in principle. Big red sign. Acting in principle usually brings, and I would say always, but a reassuring sense of being on the right track, even if others might object. So don't check out to the outside world to see if you're right. You check within, and then in confidence you move forward. So, excuse me. It is not stubbornly exerting your will, but it might be moving to the beat of your own drummer, or following your own star or your own path, because you're in confidence. You know that this is mine to do. And when we move from a place of divine consciousness, we're living the truth that we are. As Jesus said, be in the world, not of it. We live in the world, but our actions are led by the soul, not the ego, when we live by spiritual principles of truth. So in conclusion, the 5 principles of truth lead us from living unconsciously to living in full awareness of our divinity. They remind us that life is first about consciousness, and only then do we take inspired action. When we consciously practice these principles, we contribute, literally, to a greater world reality, to greater good of humanity, of raising the vibration of the entire planet. Can you imagine what the world would be like if we were all practicing these things intentionally and supporting each other and co-creating together? Fully awake, speaking and doing from a consciousness of divine life, of divine self. It's putting our feet to our prayers. You know, we look at the people that we deeply admire that have taken courageous action and done amazing things. They are no different than any one of you, but they were living their principle. So what would that maybe look like in life? I sat with that and I recalled a time in my past in 2011 when I was actively putting these principles into action for a situation. I was living in the White Mountains of Arizona between ministries, and I was doing more alternative things. I was creating recording guided meditation CDs and guest speaking and taking some of those things and making workshops and just kind of doing the circuit in Arizona and Southern California. And the Unity Southwest Regional Conference came up, and I really wanted to attend it that year, but I didn't have the funds to support it. So I decided then that I would act as if I was attending. And I thought, you know, what if I make a sample CD of my work that I could pass out along with other written material? And so I put all of that together, and I acted as if I was going to be sharing this with my colleagues. And 3 weeks later, I got a phone call. And someone said, we need to have a backup singer with our keynote musicians. Would you be willing to do that? And by the way, that will cover your conference fees. And I, of course, said, absolutely. And I was delighted that I got to sing with J.D. Martin and Jan Garrett, who are amazing singer-songwriters. They're the ones that wrote the song I Dreamed of Rain, if you ever heard that one. But anyway, it was one of the best conferences I ever attended because I was able to share so much more of myself, and it ended up being a very abundant time too, as I was able to sell some of my CDs. And so I realized that when I took action, I aligned myself with the divinity within, believed in possibility, thoughts held in mind in prayer, and the way was made clear in a way that my ego self would not have been able to imagine, using the 5 principles in practice. So I demonstrated abundance, realizing that when we take action, that helps align our vibration with our desires. And we close that gap between where we are and where we want to be. We live into what we hold in our minds, literally live into it, and feel from our hearts that vibrational energy that is sort of like that pull that's moving us forward. And it must then become in our reality in some form. But most importantly, know that the universe waits for us to make that first move. First vibrational movement, then it rushes in to support our endeavors. So if you're waiting, so is Spirit. Take an action. So I leave you with this thought today. We are always creating with every step, with every thought, and every feeling. What will you create today? How will you express God in the world? Actively practice the 5 principles of truth in your life, and it will be magnificent. It has no choice. Namaste.
Well, thank you for that empowering message. At this time, we'd like to invite our ushers forward to prepare for our love offering. And this is a time in our service where we have the opportunity to share of our financial blessings with this community in demonstration of the prosperity law of giving and receiving. There are many easy ways to do so. You can go to our website and click the donate button to discover the many easy ways you can securely give. We encourage you to consider setting up your consistent, intentional giving as a monthly or weekly automatic gift so it will never be missed. Contact our office if you have questions on how. If you intend to give here in person this morning, there are offering envelopes in the back of the pews for your convenience. And you can drop your gift in the offering plate as it's passed down your row. If you've signed up to send a recurring gift to Unity of South Sound, we invite you to place the green blessing card that is in the holder in front of your seat into the offering plate as it goes by. This offers you a tangible representation of your recurring donation to Unity of South Sound, so you may consciously join us in blessing your gift. This week is also the week that we bless our monthly tithes. As part of prosperity practice, we give 10% of what we receive to Unity leadership organizations, as well as local and international organizations that make a difference. Whichever way you make your financial blessing offering, we hold these gifts in this moment, along with our monthly tithes, in our hands and in our hearts, and affirm together. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am in perfect balance and flow with the universal tides of giving and receiving, and we are truly blessed. Amen.
I think this song that I wrote many years ago perfectly correlates with the wonderful message from Reverend Megan this morning. This is an introspective song called Mirrors, and it's about our thoughts, and do we walk up to them and embrace them and use them for that energy that spreads good, or do we turn and walk away from those, cower from those? And the choice is ours. Flames lit long ago in the deep silence of my soul. As it burned, I turned and walked away. Let it burn, left it behind, set out on my own to see what I could find, to see what I could find. What did I find? What did I find? I found you in the presence of my mind. And I was past within 2 years. Now I find myself back here. But things are still unclear. Things are still unclear. Still unclear. Still unclear. Despite the years spent inside my mind, what did I find? What did I find? 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 Yeah. Famously long ago, the deep silence of my soul, as it burned, turned and walked away. I walked away. I walked away. I walked away. I walked away.
We have a few announcements to share with you this morning. You can stay updated on all of our services and events by subscribing to our weekly e-newsletter, which you can find on the events page on our website, or you can sign up here in person. Your information will always be secure with us. We have a new member class. Part 2 of our Unity Basics class is today, after the service until 1 p.m. in the fireside room. It's facilitated by Reverend Megan. And this class is a prerequisite for being a voting member here at Unity of South Sound, and it's offered on a love offering basis. All are welcome. Friday, October 4th, beginning at 8 p.m., you're invited to join us for a 9-hour prayer novena featuring Sufi dancing, release rituals, labyrinth walking, journaling, and candlelighting as we conclude Saturday morning at 5 a.m. A rest area will be provided. Doors close at 9 p.m., but late arrivals can text for entry with the number posted. We have the Youth and Family Ministries annual pancake brunch. Come on and support our youth and family ministry and eat lots of pancakes. October 6th, after the service, this event is open to the public as an open house to our neighborhood. Donations will be accepted at the door, no tickets required. And we're putting together a team to help us get the word out to our neighbors next Sunday after the service. Sign up today after the service, and Jan will reach out to you with a plan. So just stay after the service next Sunday, and you'll be oriented of the how-to, and join our amazing team of door hanger invitationers. And you'll have a script to follow and a map with assigned blocks, and you'll work in groups of 2. So no fear about saying hello to our neighbors and bringing them in here. And that pancake breakfast will kick off our 2024 Faith in Action book study. Our 7-week fall book study is based on the book, This Life is Yours. Discover Your Power, Claim Your Wholeness, Heal Your Life by Linda Martella Whitesett and Alicia Whitesett. And sign up for one of 7 study groups in Wesley Hall at our Faith in Action event table. And you can also pick up a book there. You can also sign up via the e-blast. And there's in-person groups and Zoom groups, and study guides are available as either a download or printed at that event table. And you can also easily get a book online if you choose to. So ask Jennifer Richardson if you have any questions. We are continuing to accept donations for our You Among the Stars silent auction on October 26th. We especially seek large ticket items like travel getaways, health and wellness gift certificates, artwork, or collectibles to support us in reaching our goal of $30,000 to prosper Unity of South Sound. Forms are available in Wesley Hall or on our website. The deadline is October 20th. Email the office if you have questions at office@unityofsouthsound.org. And then join us on October 26th from 5 to 8 p.m. for an evening of celebration featuring kebabs, a no-host bar, dancing, and a silent auction to help us bridge the gap to prosperity. Tickets are $40 per person or $75 per couple to be available online next week, along with more details in our e-blast and on our website. Now, our children are elsewhere today, and we bless them wherever they are. But now, before we close for our prayer for protection and peace song, we invite you to join us in Wesley Hall for some connection and refreshments right after the service ends. And don't forget to check out our information tables with all the opportunities for engagement at Unity of South Sound. Now let's stand, if you're able, and hold your hands high as we affirm our prayer for protection, leading right into singing our peace song, where we'll send peace out to the entire world. And together, the light of God surrounds us.
I am the light. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love. The power of God protects us. I am the power. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence. Wherever I am, God is. Wherever God is, I am. And we are one. Hit it, Maestro.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace and harmony. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Amen, and have a wonderful rest of your day.